Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Go Premanande. Gurave Gaura Chanda Radhika Tadali. Krishna Krishna Bhakta Tada Bhakta Namo Namaha. Shinandanandanam Bande Radhika Charanadvayam. Gopi Jana Samayuktam Vrindavanam Manoharam. Bhajami Radham Madhavindanatram Smarami Radham Madhudasmitasyam. Vadami Radham Karuna Badaram Tato Mano Yasti Katirna Kapi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, first of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Om Vishnupad Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj, our Shiksha Gurus, Nitya Lila Shri Gaura Govinda Maharaj, Sri Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Gosai Maharaj, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
So here we are in Australia. First program, huge crowd is there, but cannot show on the camera, unfortunately. So, yesterday we were traveling. Yesterday we could not glorify Krishna Priya Thakurani, Ganga Mata Goswamini, or Sri Baladeva Vidyabhusana. His appearance there of both, I think. No?
The one is Baladeva Vidyabhusana disappearance.
Baladeva Vidyabhusana.
Appearance.
So, the appearance of Ganga Mata Thakurani and the disappearance of Sri Baladeva Vidyabhusana, both are very important Vaishnavas. So, actually, only Vaishnavas have Tirobhav Titi. No one celebrates the disappearance of Krishna or Ram, or maybe some bad people do somewhere. But no one celebrates the disappearance day of Bhagavan. Why? Because Bhagavan's glory is established from the beginning. Like when Krishna came from the womb of Devaki, four-handed. Means his all glory is from the beginning of his Leela. Ramchandra also, before entering the womb of, coming out of the womb of, no, Ramchandra's mother, Kausalya, no?
Yeah.
And first, Chatubhuj Sarup. So Bhagavan's glory is always in the beginning. Everyone know who is this, why he's coming, what's his Leela, what teaching. Everyone know before. But Vaishnava is not like that. In the beginning, they look like babies. Who knows their glories?
Yeah.
No one can understand. But by the end of their Leela, everyone knows their glories. So only Vaishnavas have Tirupāv. And these both are like pillars of bhajan. Someone asked to Nitya Lila Parishi Gaura Govinda Maharaj, how can I make advancement in spiritual life? Then Srila Gogma said, just follow these Abhirbhav and Tirobhav Titi of Hari, Guru and Vaishnava. No need any. Of course, no need anything else. He didn't say that, but these are like pillars. Especially Ganga Mata Thakurani. Today we'll talk about her. Now, many people have many funny conceptions about Guru. Like when Mahaprabhu was talking with Ramananda Roy, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is Brajanandandan Sham Sundar, Sri Krishna himself. No one can be more of a guru than Krishna Chaitanya. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Roy a question, then Ramananda said, how you can ask me question? I am Sudra. Like fallen soul. Then Mahaprabhu gave very important instruction. Kibo Vipra, Kibo Nyasi, Sudra Kinanoy, Jo Krishna Tattvaveti Se Guru Hoy. No. Do not think only Brahman can be Guru or no. Kibo Vipra, Kibo Nyasi. Guru should be sannyasi, Guru should be Brahman. We should not judge Guru Tattva like that. Sudra Kinanoy. He may be, may not be. If Gurudev is Brahman, that is great. Gurudev sannyasi, that also great. But Gurudev, any pure Vishuddha Vaishnav, maybe he from Sudra caste or any jati, any caste. Even Chandal. Some is there, some history. He is Jagat Guru who knows Krishna, Jo Krishna Tattvaveti, who knows Krishna Tattva. He is Jagat Guru. Like Hanuman. Hanuman not even in 4 ashram or 4 vanas, because Vanashram only human being. Devas have no this. Devas have no Vanashram. Asura have or not, maybe something they have. But Hanuman outside Vana, outside ashram. But he is Jagat Guru. Many example is that. Like Vyasadev born from Vyasadev come from like little strange, his background. Narad born as the son of Dasiputra Narad, come from one Dasi, but he is Jagat Guru Narad Rishi. Vyasadev also, Vyasadev's mother was also Dasiputra. But still he is Jagat Guru. So many people have many funny ideas who is Guru, but who knows Krishna? This person is real Guru. A Vaishnav Guru Nashat. If he is not Vaishnav, he have no right to be Guru, no matter what caste, no matter anything. So, many people think women cannot be Guru, but why not? If they have pure bhakti, they can also become Guru. They have right. They have adhikar. And Gaudiya Sampradaya have example. Hemlata Thakurani, Ganga Mata Goswamini. Others may be there. Actually, many coming in the Diksha line of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, also many, 4, 5 acharyas there. After, Nityananda's 2 wives, Vasudha and Janava Thakurani. Then there's Dhananjay Pandit after his whole line of lady acharyas. So ladies, Mahaprabhu said, no, we should not judge by jati, by caste or by birth. We should judge by bhajan. Like Brahmanas. Which Brahmana is superior? How Brahmana judge superiority? By gyan, by knowledge. Kshatriya is judged by strength. Vaishyas by money. Brighter than sunshine, sweeter than honey. Kshatriyas judge superiority by strength. Vaishyas by money. Sudras, how they judge? White hairs. Who have the most white hair, he is senior, he is pujaniya, worshipful. But Vaishnavas we judge by bhajan. Say bhajan, say bada abhakta hinacha. Who has the most bhajan, that person is more worshipful. Abhakta hinacha. A devotee is always neglectful, no value. So, Kibo Vipra, Kibo Nasi Sudra Kenana. So Ganga Mata Thakurani, great personality. Today we are lucky to talk about her. So, when Krishna came as Brajanandan, when Krishna came in the form of Chaitanya, then all associates of Braj Lila also came as associates of Gaura Hari. Like Radharani came as Gadadhar, Balaram, Hoilo, Nitai. Balaram came as Nityananda Prabhu. Lalita came as Surup Damodar. Right? Anurag, Vishaka came as Ramananda Roy. So all Sakas, all Sakis, also Krishna's Guru Jan like Nanda Yasoda, everyone came. Sorry. So the Dwadas Gopal are there. They're all Parikas, associates of Nityananda, the 12 Gopals, the 8 Kavirajas, the 64 Mahants. So also the Astasakis. These are the Kaivyuha Swarupas of Radhika. Radharani's direct expansions. Sudevi, Champaklata, Tungavidya, Rangadevi, Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra. Astasakis came. So Sudevi, she came in the form of Ananta Acharya, one associate of Lord Chaitanya. His glories are described there by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, Anantacharya. Anantacharya had many disciples. He took Diksha from Gadadhar Pandit. Of course, Gadadhar Pandit is Radhika herself. So Gadadhar Pandit, Anantacharya, Anantacharya's main disciple, his name was Haridas. And he had many descriptions of his glories in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was famous as the Pujari of Govinda Dev. Haridas. Just a little bit but more, I think there is in Chaitanya Bhagavad, described the glory, the seva of Haridas. How he would serve the deity of Govinda day and night, always cooking new preparations, this and that. So Haridas was living in Vrindavan, of course, because he was serving their Govinda. So there was one princess, she came from Bengal, her name was Sachi. And from beginning she had anurag to Krishna so much. So when her parents wanted her to marry, she declined. Actually, Shastra says only one order of the parents you can disobey. If parents order you to marry, you don't have to follow this. It's not like 4 Kumaras. When Father Brahmaji ordered them to marry, no, they said, we decline. We will not do. No. So they, huh?
We said no.
Don't say too loud, otherwise he'll say, I wish I knew that too. No? So scripture gives permission. Always have to follow order of Gurujan, but sometime, if Gurujan gives some order a little bit against bhakti, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, give pranam and explain I cannot do. Like Hiranyakasipu, give many instructions to Prahlad, but Prahlad not follow. So Sachi, I will not marry, and she went on pilgrimage to Vrindavan. I just admit this guy. So she came to Vrindavan, and there she felt so much happy in Braj, so much happy to live there. No? So there she had darshan of Haridas Pandit, and so much she was attracted by his old bhakti and all, because Vaishnava attract even Bhagavan, so not so hard to attract us. No? But still in Kali Yuga, the Jivatma, the people in Kali Yuga are so sinful, even they're not attracted to Vaishnavas. No? So Kirati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, no? Siguru Vaishnava Rati na hoy be'ama. How I can be delivered, even my heart has no feelings of affection for Gurudev or Vaishnava. So she became attracted. But Haridas was not too much eager to give her Diksha mantra. But she had come from royal family. Royal family means every day shahir paneer and parathas. So he was not eager to give her Diksha. So she lived 1 year, and when he saw how she was living, she come from so high family, but she living by doing madhukari, means door-to-door begging and so much doing bhajan. Then his heart melted, he gave her Diksha, she became known as Krishna Priya. After Krishna Priya, Thakurani. So she stayed, afterwards she went with her auntie, who was also a disciple of Haridas. Her name was Lakshmi Priya. So Lakshmi Priya and Krishna Thakurani, both doing bhajan long time in Radhakund. So Radhakund was of course the residence place of Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj. There he stayed long time. Especially never met Lord Chaitanya. Krishnadas Kaviraj never met Lord Chaitanya, but he used to hear every day from Raghunath Das Goswami. And real darshan come by ears, not by eyes. So Raghunath Goswami every day would speak 4 hours about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Huh? Shravana. So every day Kaviraj was hearing from Raghunath Goswami. And hearing, and also some notes were there of Sarup Damodar, his Kadacha, his notes. And here and there, of course, Rup Sanatan also living there, Gopal. All had, that time all Goswamis were living in Vrindavan, especially Gopal Bhatta. But Rup and Sanatan so much had association. Raghunath Bhatta, he also met Lord Chaitanya, his father Tapan Mishra. So from all these devotees he collected so much pastimes and teachings. So even though he never met Lord Chaitanya, he wrote in old age Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Krishnadas Kaviraj had many disciples. Main one was Mukunda Das Goswami. So he was the first person to make a copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita and take that to Bengal. So he also wrote commentary on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. No? So Krishna Priya Thakurani, when she was living there, then Mukunda, who was a very disciple of Krishnadas Kaviraj, then he became sick. So Krishnadas Thakurani cured him by giving him some like special diet and something. So he was so pleased with her, he gave her the shalagram, the Govardhan Shila. Mahaprabhu had given to Raghunath Goswami had given to Krishnadas Kaviraj. Krishnadas Kaviraj had given to Mukunda Goswami. And Mukunda Goswami was so happy with the seva of Krishna Priya Thakurani that he gave that Govardhan Shila to her. You know, the same Govardhan Shila Mahaprabhu used to keep to his heart, keep to his head, and weeping he would do his Bhav seva. So this came down to her. That's the one in Radha Gokulananda. And afterwards she gave that Govardhan to Krishna, to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He also around that time. So Mukunda had 4 main disciples. One was Rup Kaviraj. Have you heard of him? Rup Kaviraj. He was a great demon. He was a great demonic personality. Hemnata Thakurani was very dissatisfied, ripped off his neck beads. Only one line of neck beads survived. And this now then became Atibadi Sampradaya. Rup Kaviraj made a philosophy against Rupa Goswami. No need any Shravan Kirtan. Just do Smaran. No need any Vaidhi Bhakti at all. Everyone just do Raganuga. But Rupa Goswami never said like that. And by his own life, Rupa Goswami showed Seva Sadhaka Rupa, Siddha Rupana Chatik Tad Bhavata Lipsataka Jabraja Lokanu Sadhata. In the car we were little describing. No? Outside the devotee follows by the Sadak there, all Shravan Kirtan, all Vidhi Bhakti, but inside they follow the Siddha Deha, they serve to Radha Krishna. But Rupa Kaviraj get no need any Vaidhi Bhakti at all. Everyone just be like the Brajavasis, like the Gopis. So Hemlata Thakurani rejected him. So also Rupa Kaviraj made a great offense against this Krishna Priya Thakurani. She was also living in Radha Kunda many years. So Rup Kaviraj was very learned and he was giving lecture. So as he was speaking, then Krishna Priya Thakurani was in the back, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. She was chanting japa. Then he became puffed up, so he chastised Krishna Priya. Why you are chanting and not hearing? But liberated soul is like Bhagavan. Like Bhagavan can do any activity. Like Angani, what's that verse? Angani yasya sakalindra vritti manti pasyanti panti kalayanti chiyam jaganti anandat shenmaya sadujvala vigrahasya govinda mari purusham tamaham bhajami. Brahma Samhita. Krishna can smell by eye. Krishna can eat by eye. No. Krishna can impregnate by eye. No? Like Mahavishnu, how he impregnate Maya? Just by looking. We cannot do that. We have to eat by mouth and see by eye and hear by ear. But Krishna can eat just by glancing. Like we give food to Krishna. How Krishna eats? Just by looking. He can eat like that. So high class Vaishnava have that power. No. So she said, no. If I do kirtan, I can also do shravan at the same time. We cannot do like that, right? If we chant in some lectures going on, then you either chant or you hear, but we cannot do both at the same time. So, not understanding the position of Krishna Priya, then he chastised her in public. This is great offense. This is called Majyada Vyatikram. Don't cross higher Vaishnava. Someone who's higher than you, don't give them any instruction. This is not proper. No? So he made offense to Krishna Priya Thakurani, then afterwards some offense to Hemlata Goswamini, so she tore off his neck beads. And he was expelled, thrown out of Vrindavan. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrote commentaries against him in his commentary on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and the third canto of Bhagavatam. So from that time he became known as Ati Badi Rup Kaviraj. Ati Badi means, in Hindi, too big. Ati Badi. Too puffed, not because he eats too much. Ati Badi, puffed up. Too big. Ati Badi. Oh, Ati Badi ho gaya. You think you're too big now. Too big man. There's two Ati Badis. One is in Mahaprabhu's time called Jagannath, one guy. He wrote 13th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. 13th canto. So Mahaprabhu said, you are Ati Badi. And they think this is glory. Oh, Mahaprabhu said he's great. No, Mahaprabhu said, you think you're more than Vyasadeva, more than Sukadev Goswami. This is neglect. So very sad, this Ati Badi is still alive, this Sampradaya. And now some devotees of Gurudev also going to listen from these people. No, so would Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur reject, Hemlata Thakurani reject, then why are you there? What is the use? No? We wrote something on Facebook, if you like you can read, no? Just a few days ago. But strangely enough, this also came involved with Krishna Priya Thakurani, the same person. So Rup Kaviraj was made offense to Vaishnav, then if you make offense to Vaishnav. Also his Guru Mukunda was upset with him because Mukunda wrote very authorized commentary in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. But his disciple Rup Kaviraj wrote against him. Then anyway, so this is the history. So after many years in Vrindavan, then her Guru Haridas said, you should go to Jagannath Puri. There is the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, which is now like ruined. You go there and rescue that place. We know, so she went to Puri on the order of her Guru, and she took the vow of Ketra Sannyas. Ketra Sannyas means they vow never to leave the holy place. No? Have you been to Puri?
Yeah,
have you been to the house of Sarvabhauma?
There's paintings on the wall.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
It's near Sweta Ganga.
Yes.
Mahaprabhu, when Mahaprabhu came to Jagannath Puri, then he saw Jagannath and fell unconscious. Then the guards wanted to beat Lord Chaitanya, but Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was there. I said no. Why, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya know all the Shastras, so he read about the symptoms of Mahabharata. No, like Asta Sattvic, we have 8 symptoms of perfection. No, Shastra mentioned 8. No, crying, voice choke, hairs standing on end, sweat, perspiration, voice, body trembling. What else? Frothing and changing color. 8 Asta Sattvics. No? Jiva can, in this world, maybe can have 1, 2 or 3. Therefore Mahaprabhu in his Shikshastakam said, Nayanam garad asudara vadvad garad udhaya gar pulaka nichata prabhu kada tab nam grahani bhavishati. O Govinda, when that time will come, when I chant your holy name, tears will flow from my eyes, my voice will choke, and the hairs of my body will stand on it. So in this world you can find 3. You can find 3. Like Gurudev giving class. Very rare you 2-3 times Gurudev voice choke in class, or something very rare you see. No? Because high class person not show outside, like a chaste woman always cover herself. Gokashodas Babaji Maharaj said, high class devotees always cover their devotion. They're not showing I have bhakti, no? Like high class lady. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya read all these things in Shastra. But he saw in the body of this young sannyasi all 8. And Asta Sattvic also like 5 different levels. Like smoky level, Jumita, then like little more fire, then blazing, then fully blazing. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya saw 8 Asta Sattvic in fully Sudipta Bhav, fully blazing condition. Then he knew this only possible in high class of Mukta Purush, liberated soul, in Parashad of Bhagavan. So he knew, but he'd never seen, only but he read in scripture. So when the guard went to beat him, he said, no, don't. Take him to my house. So all guards carried him, Lord Chaitanya. Kavikana Posaka, like many ants carry a sugar ball. They carried the Lord to the house of Sarvabhauma, and Mahaprabhu was there unconscious many hours. Meanwhile, Nityananda, Gadadhar, Haridas, Jagadananda, and Chandrasekhar, 5-6 devotees came with Mahaprabhu after sannyas. So, when the devotees saw Nityananda and Gadadhar, they put 2 and 2 together. These guys must be the guru of the first Bengali who just came and gave so much disturbance. So the guard said, your guru came a few hours ago and did so much disturbance, so please, we request you, don't do anything crazy. Nityananda said, don't worry. I'm very peaceful and normal, not like my guru. I will not give any disturbance. So Nityananda went in, and of course, as soon as he saw Jagannath, Baladeva, Subhadra, what did he do? He jumped on the altar, took the garland of Balaram and put it on himself. Then all guards were shocked. How can he do such a thing and still be alive? This is so like not normal. Take a garland and put on yourself. So when the guard went to stop him, they were pushed back many meters away. Then they realized this person have unlimited strength. We can hold elephants, but this person have more strength than millions of elephants. So they did pranam, and they explained, your guru was there at the house of Sarvabhauma. They went there, and all devotees chanted in the ear of the unconscious Lord Chaitanya, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then Lord Chaitanya came to consciousness. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Sarvabhauma, thinking the Lord to be a sannyasi, did pranam, Om Namo Narayana. In South India especially, the Mayavadis, they say, who takes sannyas become Narayan, Bhagavan. So when they see one sannyasi sees another sannyasi, what they say? Om Namo Narayana. No, but Lord Chaitanya said, no, Krishna Namati Rastu. May you always think of Krishna. Then Sarvabhauma could understand, oh, he's not Mayavadi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked like Mayavadi, because Mahaprabhu actually have no Sikha, Mahaprabhu have no Upanayan, Brahman thread. We paint him like that so everyone can understand he is Vaishnava, but really Mahaprabhu not have these things. No? Because he took Diksha in Mayavad Sannyasi from Keshav Bharati. No? So at first Sarvabhauma thought he was Mayavadi, like me, but after he realized, no, he is Vaishnava, following Vaishnava Siddhanta. So, anyway, long story, we're not here to tell the whole story of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. We said, oh, he is young man, but he is not studying Vedanta, he is not doing meditation, he is just chanting and dancing. And he is very young, very handsome like Cupid. How he will keep his sannyas, I will teach him Vedanta. Then Gopinath Acharya was there. And also, he was very happy, Sarvabhauma happy. Why Madhusmita? Because Sarvabhauma's uncle, some relation to Nilambara Chakravarti. So, like some family relation with that, because Sarvabhauma born in Vidyanagar, Navadvip. So he knows this family. Jagannath Mishra he knew even. So he became very happy. I will teach you Vedanta. Then Lord Chaitanya very humble. But Gopinath Acharya became angry. You will teach him Vedanta? Who is he? You know? Vedanta krit Veda krit evachaham. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am the guru of Vedanta, the speaker of Vedanta. I am the goal of Vedanta. If you study all Vedanta, I am the only Visai, subject matter. So what you'll teach him? Vedanta. Like this, some argument was there. He is Bhagavan, but Sarvabhauma not accept. Because one name of Vishnu is Triyuga. Vishnu never come in Kali Yuga. So he was thinking like that. Then Gopinath said, you don't know the meaning of Triyuga. Of course Vishnu comes in every Yuga. That's called Yuga Avatar. But he never accepts a Leela Avatar. So our acharyas have said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Hidden Avatar, Chana Avatar. And he is not any avatar, he is avatari. So all these reasons, the name Triyuga has a different meaning. You do not understand fully the meaning of that verse, Triyuga. So some argument was there. Father-in-law and son-in-law. So then anyway, Mahaprabhu said, no, Sarvabhauma is like father. So my duty is to hear. 6 days he spoke Vedanta to Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya had not said anything. 6 days listening. Then Sarvabhauma said, do you understand or not understand? Because you are not saying anything. Then Lord Chaitanya said, the original sutras of Vyas are clear like the sun, but your explanation is like a cloud, covering the real meaning. Then Sarvabhauma, of course, what? No, the commentary is to help you understand the sutra. But you're saying my commentary is Maya? Dark, confusing? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught him Gaudiya Vedanta, Bhakti Vedanta. You know? So Gopinathacharya was listening, and that same Gopinathacharya came as Baladeva Vidyabhusana. You know? And his appearance day was yesterday. We'll speak about him next. So just give this background. So this same house, Ganga Mata Goswami went. She was already learned in the Shastras. She's studying. So when she began speaking Bhagavatam, then many people also became attracted to hearing from her. So the Gajapati, the king of Puri, his name was Mukunda. So he also became very happy to hear all this, and he would come to listen. Then came the day of, I think, Ganga Dussehra. Yes, Dussehra. Some say appearance day of Ganga, is it?
Yeah.
Some say like that. You know. So that day everyone goes to take bath in Ganga. So Krishna Priya Thakurani that time, she began thinking, I want to go to the Ganga. I want to take bath in the Ganga. But I cannot. Why? I took the vow of Ketra Sannyas, never to leave holy place. And also she was engaging the deity of, she was engaging the seva of the deity. That deity name was Shamroy. It's a long history, but that's a special history of that deity also. No? I cannot go. I want to go, but I cannot. Because Ketra Sannyas, I took vow, and also I'm doing Thakurji Seva. So her mind felt some unhappiness. No? So nighttime she had a dream. Jagannath said, go and take bath in Sweta-Ganga. Sweta-Ganga is one pukur, what you call, pond. What you call in South India?
Pushkarani.
Very sweet now, Pushkarani. Take bath there. This is same as Ganga. So when she went to take bath, then some magic, some Vishnu Maya, Jagannath's Maya, she saw herself being swept in a huge current. And where she woke up at the feet of Lord Jagannath. And also she heard the noise of thousands of people happily taking bath, and all these things she was seeing. So the pujaris heard the noise of millions of people shouting and roaring. So they came and they saw this girl like unconscious at the feet of Lord Jagannath. So the pujaris thought, oh, she must have come here to steal something. Because Jagannath has so much mal masala, right? Because he's Dwarkadish Krishna. Have you been to Jagannath Rath Yatra? You must have gone many times.
I went once, 2015.
Did you see the Sona Gauranga? The hands of Jagannath? Sorry, the Sona Vesh of Jagannath? Wow, we went a few years ago, no? So on the last day they have Jagannath with huge golden hands, pure gold, and carrying like club and some Sudarshan Chakra, everything made of gold, everything. Hands, legs, everything. So Jagannath has so much wealth. They thought this girl, she must be here to steal the wealth of Jagannath, so they put her in prison, thinking she's a thief, but she's not a thief. Then Jagannath became angry. He came in the dream of the Mukunda, the king. What nonsense you are doing! Ganga come from my lotus feet. And she had desired to take bath, so I brought her to my lotus feet. No? Sadhava Bhaktivinoda Thakur said the same thing. No? Oh mind, why you trouble yourself, go to so many holy places? Sadhava Siddhi Govinda Racharan. All perfection at the feet of Govinda. So I brought her to this temple because she had wanted to take bath, and you have made offense to my Vaishnava, therefore I will punish you and kill your whole family unless you and your whole family take diksha from her. So king, of course, he woke up. I'm very sorry. He released her from prison and with great respect took her in procession back to this house. Again and again he begged her, how can we serve you? So finally she said, I have desire to make this place nice again. So king became her disciple, and from that day on she became famously known as Ganga Mata, Thakurani. So yesterday was her appearance. So today is also the appearance of. Yesterday was the appearance of Sri Baladeva Vidyabhusana. Many Babajis not accept Baladeva Vidyabhusana. No, many Apasampradaya Sahajis and others, Jati Vikas Goswamis, not accept Baladeva Vidyabhusana. But our Param Gurudev Bhakti Pragyan Kesamara said such persons are definitely the servants of Kali. Because they're very much opposed to Baladeva Vidyabhusana. Why? Because Babajis was saying, now we are the fifth Sampradaya, the Gaudiya Sampradaya. They say, fifth Sampradaya. Gaudiya, like many people also these days in Vrindavan, like, don't want to say names, but anyway, no problem. like Kripalu, no accept any four Sampradaya, nothing. I am Jagat Guru like that. No. So also the Hit Haribam, they also did the same thing. We are beyond all four Sampradaya, but no one is beyond four Sampradaya. Even Bhagavan, when he come to this room, he also take Diksha. To show the Marjada towards the Parampara. No? So Baladeva Vidyabhusana did a great thing. No? Because that time, the king of all deities had been moved to Jaipur. Muslims like Akbar had attacked Mathura Vrindavan. Now there's some revolution coming, a little bit in India, maybe you've heard. How many years they were fighting to build again the temple at the birthplace of Lord Ram. They had big riots, I remember, in 90, 91, 92. 3,000 people they shot. The police shot dead 3,000 people. Because they smashed the mosque that had been built by force on top of the birthplace of Lord Ramchandra. So don't think this only happened in the Ayodhya. The temple of Krishna's birthplace in Mathura, that has been broken 8 times. 8 times the Muslim army smashed the temple and some mosque they put there. No, they said the Muslim invaders killed more than 30 million Hindus.
Next they are planning to
So that was common Muslim practice. Smash the temple and build some mosque right on top. No? Some huge number of temples, but who knows. So all the main deities were moved out of Vrindavan to Jaipur. King Man, I think his name was Manmohan Singh or something like that. Radha Govinda, Gopinath, Madan Mohan, Radha Vinod, many. Only Radha Raman stayed because he was very small. No one, very easy to hide him. So out of fear, they all moved to Jaipur. No. So that time, influence of time, the 6 Goswamis had passed. So some period of blackness had come, darkness for the Sampradaya. It means pure bhakti is there, but very much in a hidden way. Like Saraswati River is still there, but who can see it? But it's still moving underground. So sometimes Sampradaya goes a little concealed. Right, Achyutananda Prabhu? Like our eyes are closing, but consciousness is still going inside. No? So he just come from America, so he's on South America. So his body is 12 hours difference. So the king of Jaipur became influenced by some bogus elements from the Sri Sampradaya. They gave arguments why you are keeping this Radha Govinda together. There is no record of the marriage of Radharani and Krishna. Her name is not mentioned in the Bhagavad Purana or any other Shastra. So this relationship is illegal. Also, there is no such thing as Gaudiya Sampradaya. This is bogus thing. So the king of Jaipur was bewildered. So actually they say he separated Radha Govinda for some time. So that time the Vaishnavas became distressed, so they sent request to Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. But that time Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was old, very elderly. Some say in always absorbed in internal consciousness. So he could not attend. That time he sent his Shiksha disciple, Sri Baladeva Vidyabhusana. So Sri Baladev, he went there and with his ocean of knowledge, he established again the worship of Radha Krishna. Then this bogus Vaishnava said, we not accept you as any Sampradaya, because every Sampradaya Acharya has written commentary on the Vedanta. Where is your commentary? And then Baladeva said, it's not considered necessary for us to write any commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. Why? Because Vyasadeva has written his own commentary. That is called the Srimad Bhagavatam. Ato yam brahma sutranam bharatata vininayat gayatri bhasya rupaso vedata paribrimata. 4 things are there in the Bhagavatam. Ato yam, the meaning of the Brahma Sutra, the Vedanta Sutra, the real meaning of the Gayatri, the essence of Mahabharata, and the true meaning of the Veda. So Vyasadeva has written his own commentary. Why we have to write anything? No, we not accept. No. Why? Because Ramanuja has written Sri Bhasya, Madhvacharya has written, you should also write something. So Baladeva, he prayed to Govinda, please help. So Govinda said, don't worry, you speak. I speak, you write. There's some say in 7 days he wrote this, his commentary on Vedanta. What was it called? Govindabhasya. It was written by the mercy of Govindadev. So in this, Baladeva did prove the origin of the Sampradaya. So many Babaji, unfortunately, did not accept Baladeva Vidyabhusana. And they tell the false, oh no, Baladeva Vidyabhusana, he took Diksha in Sri Sampradaya. No, he took Diksha in Madhva Sampradaya, but then he took some Shiksha from Gaudiya, so he calls himself Gaudiya, but he's not actually Gaudiya. But this is completely false. No. Gurudev wrote that book, have you read it? Prabandha Panchakam? 5 essential essays. Have you read it?
That's correct.
Naughty boy. Must read it. It's beautiful. There Gurudev talks all about the glories of Baladeva Vidyabhusana. So, Nityananda, who is the Diksha Guru of Gauri Das Pandit? He is Subal, actually. Right? Radharani's dear friend. One name of Radharani is Subal Priya. No, Priya, no, Priya. That's one name of Subal. No. Means Radharani have so much faith in Subal. Because Subal is Saka of Krishna, but he's also Saki Bhav. He also has Gopi Bhav. Therefore, he can do many services that other Sakas cannot do. No. One time, Radharani was not able to meet with Krishna, and Krishna was very much suffering. So he requested Subal, Brother Subal, please make some arrangement. So Subal went to Yavat, no, and there, when Jatila saw him, she Milibik, what's the friend of this black doing here? Must be some nonsense. Then Subal said, no, mother, one calf is missing. I am looking for him. May I look in your Gosal? Yes, certainly. So Subal entered the Gosal and immediately went to Radharani's quarters. No. Then he described Krishna's separation to Radharani. Then how Radharani, oh, how can I go? Then Subal exchanged his vesh, his cloth with Radharani. No. So if Subal's an ordinary Saka with Purush Bhav, how can he wear the ornaments and clothing of Radhika? No, because Radharani is all bracelets, all ornaments, this all made of Mahabhav. Ordinary Saka can never put these things on. But Subal touching Mahabhav. Subal also has Gopi Bhav. Rupa Goswami said, the dasis of Radhika include Madhumangal, Subal, Ujjwal. So Ujjwal, Madhumangal, Subal, they have Gopi Bhav. They have the feeling I am Krishna's dasi.
So
I am Radharani's dasi.
So they participate both ways.
Therefore, no. They have Saka Bhav to Krishna, but they have Saki Bhav to Radhika. This is astonishing. Now is not the time when Gurudev always talk about Swami Maharaj. What he say? Gopi Bhav, Saki Bhav. What is this? This is the mood of Subal. He is Priyanama Saka. That's another topic, but they're too much interested. Many people think because Gurudev said Gopi Bhav, Madhurya Ras, he must be a Gopi, but no. He is coward boy with mood of gopis. But Guru Maharaj keep this rule. But that's another topic we can discuss. It's very interesting. But Subal, how much closer Radharani feel no shyness is giving her own cloth to Subal. And she feel no shyness taking the cloth of Subal. No? And how much they have relationship. No? This is Tadatma Bhav. That time must be, no? Madhusudama says, oh, Manjari is also putting lipstick on Subal and eyeliner, and so he knows all these things, the seva of the Manjaris, all these things he knows. Then he's sitting there in the dress of Radharani because he looks so much like Radhika. Complexion, everything. And Radharani looks so much like Subal. So Subal went to where Krishna was, then Guru Maharaj says, Radharani took one calf to cover her womanly features. Who can understand who is this? No one understands. Even Krishna can understand this is not Subal. So when Subal came dressed like that, then Krishna thinks this is Subal, and Radharani speaking in Subal's voice. Oh brother, what happened? I tried very hard, even I disguised myself. I could not meet with Radharani. It's quite important. Oh no, sorry, so what I'm saying. Radharani dressed like Subal. But even Krishna cannot tell this is not Subal. Then he asked, brother, what happened? I could not meet Radharani. No, impossible to meet, arrange. Then Krishna began crying, and Radharani wanted to see Krishna's heart. But don't worry, brother, I cannot bring Radharani, but Chandravali is close by, I can bring her. Radharani wanted to see, how is Krishna? No. Then Krishna crying more, brother, I want to drink milk and you are giving me water. Then Radharani felt inside, how much happy. Oh brother, I give you a hug. She hugged, then Krishna can understand. No? Who is this? No? So Subal came as Gauri Das Pandit. Gauri Das Pandit's disciple took Diksha from Nityananda Prabhu. Gauri Das had disciple Hridaya Chaitanya. Hridaya Chaitanya had disciple Shyamananda. Shyamananda Prabhu had main disciple Rasik Murari. Rasik Murari, a very famous Vaishnava. Rasik Dev, they call him. Rasik Dev, some call him an incarnation of Aniruddha. Aniruddha's mood, Aniruddha's power. So Rasikananda, his son was called Nayanananda Goswami. No? Nayanananda had disciple called Nayanananda. He had a disciple called Radha Damodar, and Radha Damodar was the Diksha Guru of Baladeva Vidyabhusana. No? Baladeva Vidyabhusana had a disciple called Uddhav. Uddhav's disciple was Madhusudan Das. Madhusudan Das Guru was, he was the Guru of Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. And Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, his disciple was Bhagavat Das. Bhagavat Das gave, like Vesh, renounced order to Gokasho Das Babaji Maharaj. No, so we are in the line of Diksha line of, no. And of course, Jagannath Das, then connection with Bhaktivinoda Thakur. But more importantly, Gokasho Das Babaji Maharaj from Bhagavat Das. Then, of course, Gokasho Das Babaji Maharaj gave Diksha to Saraswati Thakur, then to our Bhakti Pragyan Kesav Goswami Maharaj, then to Gurudev. So we are actually in the Diksha Parampara of Sri Baladeva Vidyabhusana. Oh, we are too much fortunate. So, and also through Shiksha, Baladev Vidyabhusana has connection directly with Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. But many Babajis say false propaganda. No, he took Diksha from Madhvacharya, but he joined later to Gaudiya Sampradaya. But this is complete false propaganda. No, complete false propaganda.
But he went to Mysore.
He went everywhere,
Yeah.
but some say because he went to Madhvacharya instead of Madhvacharya's philosophy, he's in the Madhva Sampradaya.
No.
But this is foolish, because all Gaudiya Vaishnavas read the philosophies of everyone else to understand their philosophy. Otherwise, how can you write a commentary on the Vedanta? That's like saying Jiva Goswami also studied the Sri Bhashya of Sankaracharya, so Jiva Goswami is a Mayavadi? Cannot say it like that. But to understand what everyone's saying, they also studied all the commentaries of all. Doesn't mean because he studied the commentary of Madhvacharya, then he's in that Sampradaya. So he is definitely Gaudiya Sampradaya. His Guru, Diksha Guru is Radha Damodar Goswami from Orissa. It's because Babaji made propaganda. No, we are fifth Sampradaya, Gaudiya Sampradaya. But Baladeva Vidyabhusana proved very strongly, no, we are a branch of the Madhva Sampradaya. No? And everyone has accepted like that. So what is the name of our Sampradaya? The Brahma Madhva? Gaudiya Sampradaya. We have connection to Madhvacharya. No, we sing every morning, or we're meant to sing this Guru Vandana, and it describes, Krishna hoite chaturmukha, hoy Krishna sevanmukha, Brahma hoite Narada Ramata. This parampara. Even though there are definitely some differences between Madhva Sampradaya and us, these small vishishtas, small specialities, doesn't mean separate Sampradaya. No. Little difference because Bala did in Madhva Sampradaya a little bit awe and reverence, and they follow the philosophy of 5 Ved.
In Udupi, they are having a Gokul, no? That Krishna.
Nitya Gopal, right?
Udupi Krishna is baby Krishna.
No, yeah, like holding a churning rod
Yeah,
and
like
dancing,
Churning
rod.
Yeah.
So they have Mudra Braj, but little bit awe and reverence. No? And they follow the Aishwarya. And they have they have mood. Also, their philosophy is called Suddha Dvaitavad. Shuddha Dvaitavad. No, Madhvacharya don't want to hear any scent of Advaitavad. He not admit anything. So he give his philosophy of bed, pure difference. But problem in the Shrutis say both things. The Shrutis talk about Advaita and also about Dvaita. So Mahaprabhu harmonized everything with his philosophy of Achintya bed, Abed. We cannot say there's no Abed, because where we come from Krishna, like spark from a fire. Spark and fire is the same thing. No? Only some bed is a difference in quantity. Bhagavan is unlimited and we are. So Madhvacharya, he harmonized. No. Rupa and Sanatana were known as Tattvavadis, the followers of Madhvacharya. So we have that link. So he did very many important services. No? Especially his commentaries in 7 days, this Vidyabhusana, this is so much wonderful. So everyone was so much astonished. The king again joined the seva of Radha Govinda and declared, no, this Gaudiya Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, this is true and bona fide Sampradaya. So he did big seva. No? Big seva. So definitely he got the mercy of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, otherwise how he could describe all these wonderful things. No? So today is these 2 Vaishnavas, and we already described some Baladeva Vidyabhusana was the incarnation of Gopinathacharya. So much connection is there. No? So these 2 Vaishnavas we give pranam. That's the time. Anything else we want to hear about?
Krishna Kaviraj Das, he took Siksha, all this, like 6 Goswami,
Krishna Das Kaviraj. Who is his Diksha Guru? We don't know. Some say he took Diksha directly from. No one knows who is the Diksha Guru of Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj, because he never mentioned. But the end of every verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita, he said, Rupa Raghunath Pada Jaharas. No? What is it? Rupa Raghunath Pada Jaharas, Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohe Krishna Das. No? Who is his Diksha Guru? We don't know. But the end of every verse of Chaitanya Charitamrita, he gave pranam to his Shiksha Gurus. 2 Shiksha Gurus, especially Rupa and Raghunath. No? Therefore, Saraswati gave, for this reason, he gave so much emphasis more on this Bhagavat Parampara. No, you've studied this a little bit? Or? No, there's 2. One is the Pancharatric Parampara, the Diksha Parampara. And it can be said more importantly is the Bhagavat Parampara. No? Because sometimes Diksha Parampara may have some fault. Maybe Diksha Guru is not Mahabhagavat. It can be. No? So some fault may be observed there in the Diksha Parampara. No? But the Bhagavat Parampara, the parampara of hearing, only infallible Mahabhagavats are admitted into that section of the Bhagavat parampara. Like, no. The Srimad Bhagavatam received from who? From Sukadeva Goswami. And who he gave it to? Parikshit Maharaj. What was the relation between Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami? Did Sukadeva Goswami give him Diksha Mantra? But he gave him. By Shravanam, he achieved Gopi Bhav, he achieved everything in 7 days. No? So we understand Pancharatric Diksha must be there, but sometime it maybe see some fault, some imperfection, some incompleteness may be observed in the Pancharatric Parampara. No? But in the Bhagavat Parampara is infallible and perfect. No? Therefore Baladeva Vidyabhusana took Diksha from one line, but everything he received from his Shiksha Guru Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. No? Also, I say sometimes bogus books may enter into the Sampradaya. Like many books, Saraswati Thakur would not accept. Like even Chaitanya Mangal,
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Saraswati Thakur not accept. That is perfect.
Lochana Das Thakur.
Saraswati Thakur said no. They said not perfect. Some maybe change or some imperfection is there. There's some Bhaktamal. Many books which everyone think are very, very wonderful and they're reading. Saraswati Thakur neglected. No need to read these books. These are not proper praman, not proper evidence. No. Narottam Vilas, many books. Some books on Advaita Charya. There's one book called what? Some book about Advaita Charya. These are all composed by Sahajiyas and other things. No, so.
Not really that important.
The actual Chaitanya Mangala.
Chaitanya Mangal will not, Saraswati Thakur will not
The
accept.
actual one.
But it's a very great book. But Saraswati Thakur will not give too much importance to it. No? So Bhagavad Prabhupada always change. If some mistake comes in Bhagavad Prabhupada, then they change, they rectify. Always need protection of the Bhagavad Prabhupada. Always have to find high class Shiksha Guru and hear from them. Now many people say Gurudev left, no Mahabhagavat now. Many people say, but if Gurudev cannot make pure disciple, that means he was not pure Guru. Right? Gurudev have pure disciples. People know or cannot find, that is their fault. But pure Shiksha Guru always in this world. Otherwise Vaishnava not of that caliber, not in this world have no beauty, no value. Because one can only get bhakti from this type of Vaishnava. And this Vaishnava not exist in this world, then this world have no meaning. Finish it.
Bhagavan, I read somewhere, Bhagavan is, if there is no pure devotee, and destroyed his whole world. Same.
Yeah. And like Advaita Charya, 500 years ago, no one was doing bhakti, nothing. Is that then this world has no meaning, I'll finish it. So I'll make, if Krishna cannot come to this world, I cannot bring Krishna by my bhakti, then I finish this creation. But lucky for us, he brought Lord Chaitanya to this world. So anyway, these topics of Vaishnava so much necessary. This Vaishnava Katha, the same as Krishna Katha. No.
So Vrindavan Das Thakur accepted.
100%. 100%. Yes, he is considered the Vyasa of Krishna Lila.
Yeah.
Like after Radha Krishna came, then Vyasadeva manifested the Bhagavata again. So Vrindavan Das Thakur considered the Vyasa of Krishna Lila. So he wrote, of course, Chaitanya Bhagavat. This is main. Even Krishnadas Kaviraj say, I just eating the remnants of Vrindavan Das Thakur. So yes, Chaitanya Bhagavat, we accept him for it.
Elaborate.
But the problem is, not problem, but is Vrindavan Das Thakur too much, he's in Sakira, so he too much like Nityananda Prabhu. No? So Chaitanya Bhagavat you read is meant to be glories of Lord Chaitanya, but 90% is glories of Lord Nityananda. Because Sakira is another mood, everything, so he's too much absorbed in that. For that reason, Krishnadas Kaviraj came and he wrote a Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this so much described Lord Chaitanya's mood as Radhika. Because Krishnadas Kaviraj Manjari Bhav. So that is the link. Yes. Vrindavan Das too much glory, too much absorbed in Nityananda. He's in Sakira, so too much that side. But what about everyone else? Everyone is not in Sakira, so Vrindavan, Krishnadas Kaviraj gave more balanced. More, I cannot say more, but anyway, he presented more the mood of Lord Chaitanya. But Vrindavan Das describes so much, especially the the childhood leelas of Lord Chaitanya. So much Navadvip leela. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, not so much Navadvip leela. Only Adhikanda and maybe a quarter of that is Nadia leela. Because Vrindavan Das Thakur born in Nadia, so he absorbed fully in that. Tika, how long the class has been? Hour and 15. Yes.
So we know that grihastas can be like pure devotees, but why was it that Vyasadeva, when he was following his son Sukadeva through the forest, and the ladies in the forest, they said we didn't cover ourselves for Sukadeva because he's pure, he not have this vision that like we're ladies.
Mm.
study, but Vyasadeva knew. And it was something I thought related to him being, they said because you're Grihastha you can't have that type of vision. So, it was,
Yes, so
but a Grihastha can have a pure vision.
anyway, this is Leela showing the glories of Sukadeva Goswami.
It's just to show his glories.
Otherwise, unless he's that type of glories, who will listen to him? This is Leela. Even Vyasa was astonished. I'm like your grandfather's grandfather. You see me, you feel shame, but this boy is 16 years old, naked, you feel no shame. They said, that's the difference. You see this world, but your son does not see this world. This is Leela because he was doing pastime of Brahmavadi, Advaitavadi.
Oh, because he described himself as being old. And he's
No, Sukadeva Goswami was absorbed in the mood, everything is Brahman. Everything is Brahman. So there's no difference. Lakri and Ladki, girl and wood is same for him. But even a person like this was attracted by Harikatha
That was while he was in the womb.
after he came out.
After he came out.
And he was born, he stayed, Sukadeva Goswami stayed 12 years in the womb of his mother.
He didn't want to come out.
And mother was saying, come on. Then Vyasa said, come out. And they said, no, I'm afraid of Maya. Here is Sadhu Sang, Krishna Katha, I'm a little happy here. And then Vyasa said, I promise you, you come, Maya will not touch you. He said, I not believe you, you're called Krishna. So Vyasadeva called Krishna from Dwarka. Then Krishna himself said, come out, boy. I promise you, Maya will not touch you. So Krishna took away his Maya that time, Sukadeva took birth. But immediately renounced and went to the forest. Vyasa was chasing behind him. Why? Because Vyasa had many disciples, but he knew, I have no disciple like this, fully detached. So he was calling, Putreti, Putreti, my son, my son. But Savabhut Vijaya Muni Anatosmi. Sukadeva was in the heart of all the trees, and he answered, who is son, who is father? This is all Vishnu Maya, all Maya. But actually Vyasa was chasing him not because thinking he was my son, he's this qualified person to hear the Bhagavatam. For that reason he was chasing. Take care.
So when he was born, he was 16 years.
Then
And then
Vyasa,
immediately ran to the forest.
Maybe ran to the forest. No even umbilical cord, cutting, all that stuff. No, nothing. So detached.
But then when happened that when he hears Bhagavatam from yesterday?
But he not heard first. Vyasa had many disciples, so he taught these disciples one or two verses.
2 words, yeah.
And that one disciple was a bird hunter actually. And he was singing that verse, describing Krishna's rupa, Krishna's form. Badhabitam natavadavapu kani o kani karam vipradkana kapisam. Vaijantyam chama. Krishna has a garland of forest flowers. He has lilies in his ear. No, he plays the flute, very attractive, dark complexion. Sukadeva heard that, became mad. He grabbed the guy, the hunter. Tell me more. Then hunter was afraid. No, this naked guy jumped on me. Tell me more. So he ran back to Vyasa and told him. Then Vyasa said, there's another verse, and told him Krishna's qualities. Putana came to kill him, but Krishna gave her Labidatram Gachat Utatam Katavanyam Kova Saranam Dailam Brajana. Krishna so kind.
Ahobakya.
He came to kill her, but he gave her a position like mother. So kind. If someone came to kill you, what would you do? Parabellum.
No, try to- if I have one.
What?
No, it's okay. Do unto others before they do to you. So Krishna's so kind. Here in these verses, he came back to Vyas. But Vyas fear. This Bhagavatam is so high class. What's the proof this boy is qualified? If you get this katha. If you get some letter of recommendation from Janak, then I'll teach you Bhagavatam. Janak, the father of Sita, so renounced. So he went there. I want to see the king. Then the gatekeeper said, just wait. He passed the message to Janak. The son of Vyasadeva wants to see you. Tell him wait. 7 days he waited.
This is Sukadeva Goswami.
Sukadeva Goswami.
And Janak Maharaj was in a different time, wasn't
Yeah, he's like Chiranjeev, all ages.
Find the connection there for a minute.
He's there. Because Ram appeared at the end of Treta Yuga. Ram come at the end of Treta Yuga. No, this Leela at the beginning of Kali. So possible. Then wait. 7 days Sukadev Goswami waited in the sun, the rain, the wind. No food, no water. Happy. Then after 7 days he could come to the next gate. Wait 7 days. 7 gates, 49 days. Without drinking water, without eating, without sleeping. No respect, nothing. Happy. Then Janak was watching. And then he's, yes, this. And some more tests were there. So Janak gave letter of recommendation, then Vyasadeva taught him this Bhagavad Purana. No? Because these days you see so many Mayavadis and rubbish people speaking on Bhagavatam just for this. No? Like a few years ago, they have these cruise ships. Have you seen them? Harikatha cruise ships. You can go on the cruise ships and you enjoy, and they go to Singapore and all this. So you can have all your enjoyment, and at the same time you can hear Harikatha. No? So many people follow. So a few years ago, one of them came to Madhusudan Maharaj because Maharaj is so much famous for Bhagavad Gita. Like, I think 450 Bhagavad Kathas he's given in his life. You know? And he doesn't even open the Bhagavad, just speaks like that. So they heard about him. So they came to ask him to come and speak on one of the cruise ships. Anyway, listening. Then the man said, how much you charge? Come on, let's get down to business. How much you charge? And Maharaj said, actually you cannot charge for Harikatha. This is not a business. No. The man is like, come on, don't be humble. Come on. 20 lakh? The man started there. 20 lakh? What's that? $40,000. And Maharaj was explaining, Qatar is not like that. You cannot buy Qatar because Qatar is amulya. There's no limit. How much it? You think I will sell Qatar for $100 or $200 or $10? This is insult to Harikatha. So Maharaj was saying, no, you cannot do like this. This is not the way Qatar is meant to be heard. This mood. The guy was going, oh, come on. Okay, 25. 30, like this. Again, he kept it because he thought Maharaj was being hard to get and the price was going. That's why Vyasadeva not want this Bhagavatam given to anyone. Nowadays you see all Mayavadis and all. You see them on the everywhere. Their photos, huge long hair and fancy dress, comb and hair. So Bhagavatam now become like a business, so much degraded. But Bhagavat should be heard from Bhakta Bhagavat, pure Vaishnava. Any question?
Maharaj, who were the 12 Gopals that you mentioned?
What do we meant to say all their names? But Vrindavan Das Thakur was one, Udaran Das Thakur was another, Gauri Das Pandit, he was another.
So the Gopi Bhav, they don't have Gopi Bhav?
No, not all of them. These are not all. And the 12 we have to look in this Gaur Ganodesh Dipika, the 12. But there's 4 types of coward boys. Saka, Priya, I promise not to speak about this, but we're going into it the first night. Question is there 4 types of coward boys, right? So, devotee, there is 2 types of devotees. One who just have one mood, one style above. Okay? That they're called Swatarati. This is all in Jaiva-dharma.
Yeah.
Who just have one mood, this is called Swatarati. They have no other mood. Pure Vatsalya, pure Madhurya, no, pure Dasya or something. But some devotees have Paratarati. I mean, inside that devotee is 2 moods. No? Like Baladeva. He's Saka of Krishna, but he's older than Krishna. So he can tell Krishna, hey, behave properly. Hey, you don't know anything. Just shut up. Because he's older than Krishna, so some Vatsalya is there. Krishna is weak. Don't know my mother, I will take care of him in the forest. Some devotees like that. No? So that's, and this all nicely harmonized. Otherwise, they give so many different tastes to Krishna. So Sakira's devotee 4 type. No? Some is younger than Krishna. I think they're called the Priya Sakas. They're younger than Krishna. So they have Sakuras to Krishna, but little bit Chamsha mood, like Das. No? Because younger than Krishna, little bit. Not too much, but Krishna is older than them, by a few weeks or a few months. So little respect is there, no? So their Sakuras is mixed with Das. But some coward boys, they mix with Vatsalya, so they're older than Krishna. They can chastise him, correct him, like Baladeva, like this. Some of them go to the forest with weapons to protect him, because Krishna's a small guy. What's he going to do with some big demon? Well, I'm here, don't worry. Some Sakas, just pure Sakuras, same age as Krishna, everything the same. But some Sakas mixed with Gopi Bhav. They're called the Priyanarma Sakas. Like Madhumangal, whenever Krishna goes to meet the gopis, who he goes with always? Who? Madhumangal, Subal, Ujjval. So they're not ordinary Sakas. If they're ordinary Sakas, how can they go to be with Krishna and the gopis? So they have gopi mood. So when Krishna takes them to meet the gopis, there's no conflict in ras, there's no rasabhas. Understand? Madhumangal always arranging the meeting of Radha Krishna. So they have some Manjari mood there also. Nikunja Yono Rati Keli Siddha. Not like the gopis, but they have something there also. They're always arranging the meeting of Radha Krishna. So these are the Priyanama Sakas. So when they're with Krishna, Sakuras. But when they're with the gopis, they give up Sakuras and they take on the mood of gopis. Madhusudana Maharaj gave an example from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, like a king. Imagine Damana Maharaj was a king. Right? But the king has a friend. And he says to the friend, hey, come and sit on my throne for a while. And the king goes and sits on the ground and the friend's on the throne, no? But the friend knows I'm not the king. And the king is sitting on the ground like this. He knows he's the king, no? But for some time that mood comes. He can give that mood to someone, no? Like that, in a sweet way, everything. So they're always Sakas, but sometimes they give up that and come as gopi mood. Like sometimes Krishna waiting for Radharani, then he has to decorate the kunj and do everything. Then who helps him do all that? These Priyanama Sakas like Subal, Madhumangal. Krishna's a coward boy. How much skill does he have in all these things? So they also can serve like gopis. No? So that's what we're saying. Whenever Gurudeva spoke about Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Prabhupada, Gurudeva always used these words, Gopi Bhav, Madhurya Ras, Manjari Bhav, mood of the maidservants of Gurudeva, of Radhika. But Gurudev never once said, he is a Manjari. So that's what we're saying. No? Gurudev spoke in a very careful way. Not to cross the mood of Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, but not to reveal it openly. Because everyone hears Prabhupada's a Saka, what do they think? Narayan Maharaj is a Manjari, he thinks he's higher than Prabhupada. Prabhupada's in a different, Narayan Maharaj is in a different mood to Prabhupada. Why should we listen to Narayan Maharaj? Oh, they're trying to minimize Prabhupada, saying he's only in Sakuras. Many rubbish people think. So to cover this, to help his own prachar. No, but Gurudev spoke very carefully. We're making a collection of all the sound files. There's about 20. But never once Gurudev says he's a Manjari. Well, you offered a $2,000 reward. Show us one time Gurudev said it.
Never said it.
Never said it. We've up, and people show, we've got all the videos, but Gurudev never speaks one time he is a Manjari. What he speaks, he uses all these language. And if you read Jaiva Dharma carefully, it's exactly the same language Bhaktivinoda Thakur uses. No, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says no. The Priyanarma Sakas are the personification of Ujjval Ras. Jaiva Dharma. The personifications of Madhurya Ras. These cowherd boys. But people, so much man, woman, all this material thing, they cannot imagine this. And actually, Bhaktivedanta, then there's a perfect harmony between Gurudev's statements and the words of Prabhupada himself. Prabhupada never one time said, I want to be a gopi. He never even sang Radhe Jaya Jaya Madhava Daite, not once in his whole life. There's no recordings. No, all these songs of Madhurya Rasa or Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he never sang them. What songs he always sang? This Jai Radha Madhava, all these things also. Bhaja Hure Mana Sri Nandana, all these songs. Krishna is why install Krishna Balaram in the middle of his temple? In Vrindavan, who's in the middle of the temple? In ISKCON? Krishna Balaram. Why? Why Radha Krishna on the side? That means Ishtadev is Krishna Balaram. But this is another topic. We probably won't speak this tomorrow. Okay?
So that's the mood of Krishna Balaram.
That's his Ishtadev. Did Gurudev ever install any deity of Krishna Balaram in any of his temples? Because different mood.
That means he's not Manjari Bhav.
Manjari Bhav, but no Manjari.
Oh.
This is the Priyanama Sakhas. They have Gopi Bhav, but not Gopis. Very subtle thing.
The mood.
Very subtle thing. People have no proper...
So that's why Gurudev's lecture, they can't digest, no? Whatever they say.
They cannot digest.
Only few of them came. Many of them came.
Because you... Actually, when everyone was with Prabhupada, in the beginning, everyone knew who was in Sakharas. Shamarani, Didi, Bhagavat, all of them, because Prabhupada said hundreds of times. Not hundreds, but a few. And then they heard Gurudev, then they thought, oh, what Prabhupada spoke about himself, this is wrong. And what Narayan Raj is saying, this is the truth. But how Gurudev can speak directly against what Prabhupada himself said? That means Gurudev is a sahaja? Or Prabhupada's wrong about himself? Come on. But the Priyanama Sakha, everyone is perfectly respected. Have you read the prayers of Jaladuta, Prabhupada going to America? What's he saying? Oh, my brother Krishna, when again I'll meet you, again I'll go cow grazing with you. Forest to forest, I'll steal your food and eat. Sedin kabe habe more. When that day will be mine. No Manjari steals the food of Krishna and eats. So he has Sakharas, but he also has Gopi mode.
But he explains in his 10th canto, or 10th canto, or 11th, right?
When he stopped, Brahma Mohan Lila, all coward boys taking lunch with Krishna. That's when he stopped the Bhagavatam. There are many, many indicators. There's a book, have you given it to him? Not now. There's a book that come from our little ashram, you can read it. Many people think Gurudev never spoke this. It's true, he not spoke openly, but he spoke. But who can understand? What Gurudev spoke, people understand according to their adhikar. But you get this book and read it carefully. And you can nicely, by this you can understand who perfectly understands Gurudev. It's been nice, helpful for you.
But without Radha Dasya Bhav, we never talk Gurudev. They always...
That's Gurudev's mood. But you see in ISKCON, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj never speak these things. Never touch. Why? Different mood. It's okay. So we say, don't disturb his mood. Prabhupada, that mood, okay. You're a different mood, okay, but don't cut and throw.
Yeah, that's right.
Therefore, Gurudev never said once, he's a Manjari, because this is wrong. Okay, Manjari mood, sometimes, something. But Prabhupada is not any Manjari. Which Manjari is it? Never say. It's very. If you come to Vrindavan, you can only come after you retire.
Yeah.
Oh, you cannot come in October.
No.
Afterwards
Next
you
time.
come. You read this book carefully, then you can
Yeah.
nicely understand who knows Gurudev. Yes, it's a big topic. Any question more? Have you read that book, One Drop of Brajaras? Why not? We'll give it to you. We've got hundreds of them. Yes, it's a big... Yes, it's not a very popular book. But it's read so much Tattva Siddhanta. So much. Actually, you see Gurudev's words when Prabhupada was leaving. What did Gurudev say? The problem is people who edited all Gurudev's words, they cut out all Gurudev's mood and put their own mood. That is the problem. But when Prabhupada was leaving, what did Gurudev say? I saw in his face two moods. One to Ishtadev and one to Ishtadevi. What does that mean?
Radha Krishna.
Who can have a mood towards Radha and Krishna? Who? Priyanama Sakhas, no one else. Who editing the books, what they say? I saw in his face one mood towards his Ishtadevi Radharani. But you listen to the sound file, Gurudev never said that. But they think, he's a Manjari. So they cut out what they didn't like and put what supported them. This is the problem.
Because they don't have adhikar.
Sign it. They have only according to, yeah, that's a fact. Like Shamarani did it, she made one art book. I read it. And there, she saw there was she had painted a picture of Krishna with a stick in his hand. It's Vishnu actually. And Prabhupada called that deity Karta Mahasoy, the big doer. Karta Mahasoy, one name of Vishnu, the big doer. So Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj was looking at that picture of Vishnu with a stick, and he said, yes, Krishna also has a stick in his hand when he goes cow grazing, and very softly he taps the cows. Chelo, chelo, goes. I am also want to be the friend of that Krishna.
Okay, that's a move.
Many times.
But this is very subtle. You can't understand.
But then Shamarani Didi wrote in her art book, oh, when I heard that, I thought Bhaktivedanta, I thought my Guru there was in Sakiras. But afterwards, when I heard from Srila Narayan Maharaj, I said, no, my Guru cannot be in Sakiras because all the Gurus in our parampara are Manjaris. Come on. I mean, what you heard from Prabhupada had no meaning at all. There are many acharyas now. Most are Madhura, that is true. But you cannot say only Madhura Ras can be acharya or Guru. Like Subal, Gauridas Pandit, Vijay Chaitanya, many are in Sakiras also. Yes, it's hard. But Guru Parampara is that, they are high. Guru Parampara are high. There's many stories, no? One time, one devotee, his name was, I didn't know all these things. When the controversies happened, I didn't know all these things, no? And then we started doing research. When I first heard this coming from our Shiksha, I first heard this Prabhupada, this coward, was pure Priyanamasakas. I was like, because I heard Gurudev so much talking Madhuri Ras, Gopi Baba, all this stuff, so I also thought he was a Manjari. And then they were explaining, then I thought, anyway, what Maharaj explained, I cannot just throw like that, you know. So, okay, I accept what Maharaj is saying, but, you know, I was like a little uncertain. Not uncertain about his words, but my understanding was not. Then I went home, and by magic, someone gave me this huge book, like this thick. It was a coffee table book about all Prabhupada's Leelas. So I started reading that night, same night. And I just went like that and opened a story. There was one seva called Shrutakriti, one servant of Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. So he was looking in the keyhole, he saw Prabhupada rolling on the ground in his room. Have you heard this story?
No.
Yeah. So he was rolling on the ground, and Shrutakriti was watching the keyhole. What's he doing? So out he goes, what's Prabhupada rolling on the ground? So afterwards he went, you know, Gurudev, Prabhupada, don't mind, but what were you doing when you were rolling on the ground? Prabhupada laughed. I was wrestling with Balaram. As soon as I heard that, I said, no Manjari wrestles with Balaram. This must be true, what they're saying. This gave me so much faith. Yes. And there's many. Prabhupada told many of his own disciples. My Guru was Manjari, but I am in Sakiras. He told many. There's Govinda Dasi, Mukunda Maharaj. Prabhupada told them all. Shamarani. So that's why we fight. That's why we're a little separate from the Sangha, no? But we're fighting to say, don't make Gurudev separate from his parampara. How Gurudev can speak something directly against what Prabhupada said about himself? Give little respect to Prabhupada. Prabhupada knows who he is nicely. And that's when they're all shouting at us, what Gurudev said. We say, what did Prabhupada say about himself? Why don't you look at that first? Look at that first and then worry about what he's saying. Anyway, dream is another thing. But we're not basing all this thing on Maharaj's dream. Not even mentioning about it.
People also seem to have dreams as well. So
Yeah. Who had the dream is important also.
as well.
But we're not talking about this dream at all because we're just using direct pramana.
Yeah.
Take it.
Last time that Prabhupada rolling on the ground, was that in Jhansi? Because
No, Shrutakriti was an American. There was another guy, Chandrasekhar, who was Prabhupada's first Indian disciple. And he said Prabhupada always told us he was the friend of Krishna. So they're making Gurudev look bad. How Gurudev can speak directly against his Guru Parampara. And other acharyas like Srila Sridhar Maharaj and All have said he's in Sakiras. No one person has said he's a gopi. So they're trying to make Gurudev like separate from everyone. That's what we're fighting. Don't pull Gurudev out of the parampara. Don't make him look like separate. Otherwise, if Gurudev's right, the Prabhupada was wrong, Sridhar Maharaj is wrong, Pramod Puri Maharaj, everyone else is wrong except Gurudev. Gurudev never taught us to think like that. So what's the harmony? How everyone can be respected? That is Pri Namaste. It may say not esoteric, but for us it's very important. And you can know who understands Gurudev mood nicely. It's like a doorway for us. It's a bit like a Paribhasha Sutra. Who understands and who doesn't understand. Like Bhagavad Maharaj and Shamarani, they were all like, Gurudev said, Gurudev said. He never said. What did he say? Look carefully. Like there's so many times when we've gone through all the videos hundreds of times. Like Gurudev would say, who is Bhaktivinoda Thakur? Here's Kamal Manjari. No. Who is Saraswati Thakur? He is Nayana Manjari. Who is, my Gurudev? He is Vinod Vijali. And Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, who is he? Why should he be a different thing? He should be anything like that. Why Gurudev couldn't just say that time he was also a Manjari? Why should he be anything different? He should be something like that. This is all the Gurudev keeping it a little hidden. Gurudev said good. No, I didn't say. Listen again. Where he said. If he wanted to say, he could have said clearly then. Anyway, it's very subtle, very, very subtle. Anyway, just like many people say, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj said the jiva falls from Vaikuntha. He said here and here and here. But if he said, there's a reason he said it. Time, place, circumstance. Sankaracharya is Mahabhagavat, but doesn't mean everything he said is true. Right? Time, we have to look. If he spoke something that seems a little uncertain, there must be a reason.
Some of these things are just preaching, really.
Preaching? That's what we call this. When we call this a preaching tactic, people went completely crazy. Are you saying Gurudev deceived us? I'm not saying that. But you could only understand what you're eligible to understand. I'll say that.
That topic is so much affected on Gaur Govinda Maharaj. And they separated, no?
Not Gaur Govinda Maharaj.
The Gaur Govinda Maharaj also discussed about this.
The fall of the jiva.
Oh, the fall of the jiva, yes. And for that reason, all is gone against him.
Yes, against him.
But he was right. He was the only one who was right. So
nobody wants to listen and accept.
who can understand? You have to have a little faith in Vaishnavas. Vaishnava will never speak against their parampara. That's why we always need living guru. Always need living guru. Because some high chance we cannot understand their words. We're not that level. Like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, right? Jiva Goswami wrote something. It seems to support Swakiyavad and little neglect Rupa Goswami's Parikiyavad. Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, no, that is not the meaning of Jiva Goswami. They wanted to kill him. But who was right? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Even today the Babajis are following Swakiyavad, Jiva Goswami said.
Yeah,
Hundreds of years ago. Since hundreds of years they're following that.
yeah.
Jiva Goswami had some disciples who had that type of inclination. So he said, something I write for them, something for me. So you said yourself, preaching, this is preaching tactic.
That's right.
So we said when Gurudev spoke this way as a preaching tactic, people went nuts. Gurudev deceived us, Gurudev deceived us. Well, if you want to look at it like that, yeah. But he deceived it in a good way. It was good for you.
Understand it until I heard the backlash that Bhakti Sridhar Maharaj got for saying.
Sridhar Maharaj also said, I am Manjari, but your Guru is Sakar. Then everyone became against him, you know. So finally, just quiet. But they think, oh, this is minimizing our Guru. So Gurudev had so much opposition, you know. So Gurudev just, okay, yes, he is the same mood as all of us. Imagine if in the beginning Gurudev said, yeah, he's in a different mood. Imagine what would happen then. So much opposition to his preaching. So he just kept it a little cute.
As you were saying, he
has
also has that mood.
But he never lied. Yes, if he has that mood, he never lied.
Like Didi always says, Gurudev spoke nothing else except indicating that mood. But who can understand? So for us, it's like, if we want to follow Gurudev and understand, you should listen and hear from someone who actually follows Gurudev and understands him. That's why you always need proper Shiksha Guru. And Shiksha Guru should be on the same level. So this dream, you want to hear about the dream of Maharaj? But she brought it up. No? That's why everyone's going, it's based on the dream. It's not based on any dream. But years ago, when Maharaj was very young, he came to Vrindavan when he was 11. And he met with Krishna Priya Didi. Krishna Priya is like Gurudev's first disciple. Gurudev was not giving Diksha to anyone. Then Didi came to Vrindavan. She's PhD in chemistry. She came to Vrindavan. Then she asked Gurudev for Diksha. Gurudev said, I don't give Diksha. Then Gurudev said, you can take Diksha from Bhaman Maharaj. Then Didi was thinking, why take Diksha from someone she knew him, but no, I want to take from him. So she fasted. No eating anything. I don't know if drinking, I cannot say, but 12 days. And then Gurudev came back from Mayapur, then Tita Maharaj, God bless him. He said, Gurudev, if you don't give a Diksha, she's going to leave her body. Then Gurudev came and saw, then Tita Maharaj said, quickly bring the doctor and give, then you can give Diksha. And Gurudev said, no, first Diksha, then doctor. So Gurudev gave her Diksha first, like 1986, I think. But he said, don't tell anyone. So then Maharaj came to her like a few years later. He was very young, like 10 years old. So Didi was living in one room behind Rup Sanatan. So Maharaj came on a tour with his uncle, a tour of all the holy places. So he was like 11. And that time, Maharaj, first time in Vrindavan, he was very small. His name was Sham. But Maharaj too much like Ramchita Manas, because he's born in Bhojpuri speaking area. And he memorized the whole thing. It's like this book, thousands and millions of verses. So he was with one Brahmin. The Brahmin would speak the first line, look in the book, and Maharaj would always speak the second line without looking in the book. He had this photographic memory. And Didi was listening. How this small boy can know so much Shastra, at 10 or 11. So, but Didi always just stay in her room. She never comes outside, just chanting in her room. And one day she asked him, can you go and get some yogurt for me? Then Maharaj said, you want a bucket of yogurt? And Didi became, this guy is just joking with him. So she locked the door, not answer. Then he came back with some yogurt, and Didi saw and Maharaj was saying the other day, I never heard it before, Didi looked me up and down like 2-3 minutes. Will I accept what he give or not? Because Didi, no one can give her anything. She never accept anything from anyone. So she just looked him up and down 2-3 minutes. Then she took the yogurt. And Maharaj says, that yogurt gave me enough security to live in Vrindavan. Then she said to him, you want to do bhajan? Then Maharaj goes, what's bhajan? Because he didn't know, what's bhajan? Bhajan means Bhagavad Gita, and this all follow all these instructions. You know Bhagavad Gita? Maharaj said, I never read because in Sanskrit. Then Didi said, okay, you bring Bhagavad Gita, I'll teach it to you. Because living in the same sort of house. Then Maharaj went and brought his Bhagavad Gita, and Didi taught him 5 verses. Learn it. He didn't learn it. So after 5 days he hadn't learned anything. Then she became angry. Get lost and stop wasting my time. Get out of here. Then Maharaj became in panic. So that night he learned the whole first chapter, like 37 verses. No, then he came the next day and spoke all the whole first chapter. Then Didi became how someone can learn a whole chapter in one night. No? Then she started teaching all this stuff. So that time, when Maharaj was like 11, someone gave him the ISKCON songbook. And he was reading. Then he read these prayers on the Jaladuta. Then, just simple, it goes, wow, he must be a coward boy, Thakurani, because he wants to go cow grazing with Krishna. No? At night time he had a dream. So in the dream, Swami Maharaj, Prabhupada came to him in the dream. I'm in Thakurani. And in the dream, Maharaj was arguing him. No, how is it possible? Gurudev said this, and Gurudev said this, and Gurudev said that. And then Prabhupada became angry at him in the dream. What I'm telling you, why you just don't believe it? You just believe what I tell you, you believe what I tell you, you believe what I tell you. 3 times. And he woke up, and he was surprised, because he wasn't thinking anything, it was all in the dream. Then he went to Didi in the morning and said, I had this dream. Gurudev said, Prabhupada is saying this, and Gurudev is saying this. Why are they saying different things? And Didi said, just keep quiet. Her exact words, this will make World War III. Her exact words. This from 30 years ago. And then, in 2015, one disciple, Pradabja, actually a disciple of Prabhupada, he came and asked, what rasa is my guru in? The subject had never come up before. To Didi, Krishna Priya Didi, what rasa is my guru in? And then she said, just as she goes, well, she told him about the dream. She goes, he must be in Sakiras. And someone heard that. And they went outside and said, oh, Krishna Balaram is telling everyone Prabhupada's in Sakiras. Then this whole war started, you know. And they think we're basing it on the dream, but it has nothing to do with the dream. Maharaj, that dream is for me, to give me this like mental strength to go through. But we're never using this as evidence for anything.
No.
It's just Maharaj's personal thing. You know. Yes. And then when, you know Sudadwaiti Maharaj? His disciple also Prabhupada. He's the only disciple of Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj who took shelter of Gaudiya Maharaj for Shiksha in 1986. So he's too much Sangha of Gaudiya Maharaj also. No? So when all this started fighting on the internet, he became disturbed and he came back. You know? And he came because he's already in our ashram, but this is a whole different topic. You know? And he sat there and he goes, what's going on? I want to know. You know what Madhusudana Maharaj said? I never forget this. You know? He said, if you want to understand this topic, you have to understand one thing very clearly. That Krishna Priya Didi is not one drop different from Gurudev, not one drop less. If you can understand that, then you can understand this topic. I remember I was shocked. You know? I never heard him speak like that way about her. Then Maharaj explained everything. We're also listening. And then Maharaj, he's also an intelligent person, listening. Then he was happy at the end. Okay, I understand. So he went. And then early, because he just flew in from France, so he was tired. The next morning he'd wake up late. And I saw him, how are you feeling? His eyes were wide like saucers. He goes, I had a dream of Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada said, I'm like Subal. And he was so amazed, you know. And then we heard later that's exactly what Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj used to tell his own disciples. Swami Maharaj is like incarnation of Subal. Subal's the Priyanamasaka. That's why everyone knows what Srila Sridhar Maharaj said and Prabhupada said. And that's why many people know why Narayan Maharaj is saying this, but he's not saying it. He's saying the same thing as they did. Maybe a little more covered way.
Well, because we know Gurudev's moved.
Yeah, this is the preaching tactic. He's using this thing to preach his own. Yes, he's also like us. Chala.
Many times Gurudev mentioned, leave Prabhupada's whatever he's preaching, don't disturb.
He said what?
Whatever Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj preach, leave that. Don't argue with them. Just listen what I'm telling carefully.
Wow, I never heard that. Yes, they did the preaching tactic.
Yeah.
That's why Madhusudana Maharaj, whenever the topic comes up, Gurudev makes some little whirlpool and escape out of the topic. He's just like next. Hundreds of, you said you listen to all the sound files. It takes a little patience. Actually, we heard one amazing the other day. We were listening for, and I heard one from 1992. And when Gurudev was saying, when I hear he's only in, people say he's only in Sakiras. Why he says only in Sakiras? Why don't you just say Sakiras? When I hear he's only in Sakiras, I feel pain. I want to prove this is not the full conception. The full conception, he is also in Madhurya Ras. And they said, then Samal Krishna and these guys, oh yes, Gurudev, if they think that he's only in Sakiras, everyone will go to the Babajis. Yes, Gurudev was saying. So I want to show full conception, he is also in Madhurya Ras. How can someone be in Sakya Ras and also in Madhurya Ras? Anyone, maybe you guys understand?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not fully fledged in all of this.
Oh yeah, it takes a few months of talking about 24 hours a day to fully go into it. Maharaj was just talking about it for 2 years.
It's an extremely interesting topic.
Guru Maharaj would always say, unless you understand their mood, how can you serve them? And the thing is, yeah. And now, like, devotees like Samarani, Didi, Bhagavad, they're saying things that Gurudev never said. You know, all the acharyas and Manjari Bhav, all, okay, most you can say, but you can't say all, because there's many other. Nityananda himself, you know, there are exceptions are there, no? Bamsidas Babaji Maharaj, other rasas are there also. TK. How many left? Probably everyone's run away now.
All gone.
Yes, this topic's not for everyone. Any questions, Mira? Are you understanding the talkings of the mad person?
Maharaj, I'll ask tomorrow.
Okay. Can you understand everything?
Maharaj, I can't say everything, but yes, a bit.
Okay. I never thought we'd talk about these things, but I always end up talking about them.
Because sometimes the voice wasn't very clear.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it was clear. Maybe I didn't understand thoroughly.
We forgot. Okay, tomorrow. Anything you want to hear about tomorrow night, especially?
Maharaj, if you can tell about Harinam and Guru Tattva,
Tika?
like importance of Guru, which you have said bit today about, and then Harinam, that would be great. I'm not even devotee. I'm just trying, so maybe it will benefit me.
Where are you born in?
I was born in India, Maharaj,
Which place?
in North India, Kurukshetra.
Oh my God. But no promise, no fighting. Okay. Haribol. Radha.
Sareshwari Didi is laughing. Why are you laughing, Didi? No fighting. Everybody say Kurukshetra like this. Battle of
Huh.
Kurukshetra.
Battle of Kurukshetra.
It was funny.
We'll come, but no fighting, please. Okay. Radha Radha.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavad Pranam Maharaj.
Haribol. Radha Radha. Go Premanandi.